Good morning and welcome back to the channel. Today is going to be a Dollar General haul. But first, before we get started, I got a bit of a mail call here from a listener or a viewer here on YouTube, Mary Wilson. She sent me Lord of the Rings, a little booklet here that comes included in this particular DVD. It's the definitive guide to the world of the rings and music done by Rick Wakeman. It says it has a special edition DVD, CD, and a booklet set here. She had picked this up at one of her Dollar Trees. She had mentioned, I had mentioned actually that I was interested in it. And she said, "Well, if you want it, I can send it to you." And I was like, "Well, that's up to you. I don't want you to think I'm begging for it. I appreciate it loads, but I didn't want her to think I was begging for it. But I'm really a big Lord of the Rings fan, and believe it or not, I'm a really big Star Wars fan. So it takes you to Clerks 2, that little debate there about Lord of the Rings and Star Wars. In that argument, they were both kind of right about the series. Anakin Skywalker's acting is really bad, but yeah, I like both Star Wars and Lord of the Rings. They're both good companion piece series. They fit right next to each other pretty well, I think. But anyway, let's get started on what she had sent me also. She also sent me a card. Here, I'll show you the front. There it says, this is a paper hug. It's got a little bear on the front there, holding a heart. And it says, "Hello, Eagles fan. Here's the movie you were looking for. I put the crystals in there for you too. Some of the crystals are see-through. I gave you a fossil too. Have a great day. Love to the family, Mary." And it says with your name on it. And she spent pretty good on this. This is a Hallmark card as well. I appreciate that, Mary. That's very nice of you to do. But thank you for that. And then this is what she sent along with it. Some fossils and some crystallized stuff. I don't know if they're, what did she say they were? Fossils and crystals that were, I don't know if they're just like shells. I am very uneducated about beach items because I think I've been to a beach like so long ago that I couldn't tell you what anything on a beach was. But here's, I take it these must be some of the fossils, or maybe these are crystals. Yeah, this is the kind of stuff she found. There's one example. There's another little piece. There. She got these off the cusp of the ocean, I assume. Unless she went scuba diving, I don't know. Maybe that's her thing. I don't know. Yeah, this one's kind of like hollow eyes there. And this is a big one here. Kind of like a meteor, kind of like a miniature size portion of a meteor, if you will. The way it looks. Bet if you filmed it with, to make it look like it was a miniaturized version of a meteor, it almost looked like a meteor piece. That's what they all look like to me. Really neat. Yeah, you can see the crystals on this one. If you look at it just right. Oh, look at that. Wow. Yeah, you can see it crystallizing. I don't know if you could pick it up on camera. But inside there, if you look at it just right, there's some crystals in there. And one last piece in this bag. Almost looks like a shark tooth, if you will. It'd be pretty neat if it was, but it's a rock. But that's what was in that bag. I'm not going to show all the pieces of the next one because there's a numerous amount. Oops. A little bit of a hole in the bottom of the bag. And then I got a shell. And I swear there's nothing inside of it. I think it would have been out of there by now. There's a shell. Likely there was something in it at one point. And then virtually basically the same things are in this as well. And basically that's the way the rest of the bag looks. But thank you for that, Mary. Your package got here smoothly and without any interruptions or anything. But thank you for sending me that package with, you know, all the contents in it that you sent. You never know with our mail carrier if they're able to do that, you know, without damaging it. And with that, if that got damaged, they'd probably be all in, you know, shards of little pieces of rock and fossilized stuff. Thank God it got here okay. I don't know if she wants me to tell her the exact city she's from, but she is out of Florida, and she got those down. I don't know. I guess it's the Atlantic Ocean, I'm assuming. But thank you, Mary. Thank you for sending me that. Giving you a shout out. I promise everybody that ever sends me stuff, I give you shout outs because that's the, you know, that's the way I do things. But before we get started, I want to give away a Topps free Redbox movie night coupon here at your local kiosk. I don't know if I show this if you're able to get it, you know, a Redbox movie, but if you're able to get it where you live, feel free to take this code I'm about to show. It's right there below the bolder lettering. Just take that code if you want it. You got a free movie night on me. If you have any problems, let me know. It's not going to go anywhere. But if you claim it, just let me know in the comments. And 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Done. Okay. Well, that code's going to sit right over here on my printer for now. If you have any problems and try to redeem it, just let me know. But if you do redeem it, let me know too. Or, you know, if you go to your Redbox and you know, just let me know you're headed down to your Redbox to redeem it. If it doesn't work, just let me know in the comments. But let's get started on what I picked up at Dollar General today. First up here is a digital copy special edition of a really cool Kiefer Sutherland film. This is unrated as well. I picked this up for $5 at my local Dollar General. Unrated cut, too terrifying for theaters, with an alternate ending. Includes both the theatrical and unrated version of the film. I love this movie so much. I love the ending. The ending in this movie is probably one of the best horror endings I think I've ever seen in the theater in like the last couple decades. I really love the ending to it. I'm not gonna say what happens because if you haven't seen this, I just love this ending. It's a special 2-disc Blu-ray here, out of 2008. Plus, it doesn't hurt. It has Amy Smart in it, but I have a thing for her. But stars Kiefer Sutherland. Let's see. It's from Regency Enterprises and New Regency. It was directed by Alexandra Aja or Aja. I'm not sure how you say that, pronounce that. 20th Century Fox. Says it's a 50 gigabyte dual layer 240 by 1 widescreen presented, and that's mirror. Really good Kiefer Sutherland film. I was really happy to get that. I couldn't resist. I actually, that's the first time I've been to that particular Dollar General's. Apparently, at one point, there was a restaurant that was there on that very property. They tore down a little bit of a town heirloom, if you will, because it had been around there for a while. They tore it down, and then they threw up a Dollar General. In my area, Dollar Generals are going up left and right. I went through another small town when I went up there, and they had one off to my right, and we went in there and got some titles as well. But continuing on with what I picked up at the one store that they tore the restaurant down for, this store also had Danny DeVito and Billy Crystal and Throw Mama from the Train. Enormously likable, says the New York Times. I haven't seen this since I think it was on VHS tape. It's from Orion Pictures. It's rated PG-13. This tells you how long ago it was when I seen it back on VHS. I was probably about 13, 14 when I saw this, and I'm 51, or going to be 51. Our little town even had a little video store that was right out of the store. And this is why I always went by their store, and I always seen this poster in the window of Throw Mama from the Train. This was a really cultish, likable film at the time, too. Because, I mean, like, this whole cast gelled in this movie. I thought they played well off each other. Such great talent in this. Billy Crystal was on the top of the comedy mountain at the time. Couldn't do no wrong. Not that he did wrong, but, I mean, like, you know, he was basically like your Jim Carrey kind of comedy at the time, more or less. 1987, this came out, 88 minutes. Interesting pairing with Danny DeVito and Billy Crystal. I think that's what the attraction was, is that the two of them together, because I don't think they ever, maybe they might have played in maybe one or two together, but per se, they were never paired really much together, or at all. But that was and then the mom, like the way, I think she had half of her tongue taken off or something due to a procedure or something, and that's why she talked like that. But she's a really great actress too, and she's very well missed. She's a really good character actress as well. Like, if you wanted a character actress in the 80s, this is a lady you want to go with. I'm sorry I don't know her name, because it doesn't really have her name on here. Anne Ramsey, maybe? Or Kim Greist? I'm not sure which one that would be. But that's Throw Mama from the Train. And then I picked up at the very... I don't know if it's no, wait. Was this the same store? No, this was a different store. Movie starring Jeff Bridges, Maggie Gyllenhaal, Crazy Heart, The Harder the Life, The Sweeter the Song. One of the year's best films. From 20th Century Fox. I'm not even going to try and guess the year, because this is... I want to say maybe 2004, maybe? I'm not sure. It's a 2-disc special edition here. Well, it does have a digital copy that I'm probably not going to get to today. Maybe, somebody wants it in the comments or something for another video, just let me know, and I can open it and dig it out. Because I don't use digital copies. It'll just sit here wasting. But I'm not going to open it this morning. But I did only pay $5 for this. I couldn't resist a good old country movie starring Jeff Bridges. Really like it. And it doesn't hurt, too, that it has, what's his name? Let's see. So that doesn't just start from Fox Searchlight as well, if I didn't mention that. It's got, I can't think of his name. I can't think of it. Robert Duvall, too, in it. He's right. there. Doesn't even mention him on here. All I could think of is he's got like very limited role in this, but I would have threw Robert Duvall on there just because, you know, the movies he's done. And then I got Lost in Space, a thrill ride of a movie, exciting, adventurous, eye-popping fun. This one I seen at the theater years ago. It's $3.95 on this one, PG-13. This was a Canadian release disc as well. I can tell by the fonts on the back of the cover, back cover, if you will. Comes with a slew of special features, PG-13 if I didn't mention that. It's from 1998, and hit new. I don't know if it come out through New Line in 2010, but it does not seem possible that I seen this 23 years ago. Just goes to show you how time flies. But I had seen this in the theater. I really had fun with this one. I've watched bits and pieces of the original TV series from I think from the 60s or 50s. It's pretty entertaining too. You can sometimes catch it on Me TV on your cable lineup if you get Me TV. Let's look at the back. And then we picked up Michael Douglas and Kathleen Turner and Danny DeVito. It must have been like a Danny DeVito film festival at the local Dollar General, because it's the second movie I've seen Danny DeVito in here. It's a Jewel of the Nile. This one's for $5. This is actually my wife's movie. She's watched this countless times. I've seen bits and pieces of Jewel of the Nile and Romancing the Stone, but I know very little about it other than it's about jewels, I believe, or let's see. Yeah, I don't even really know. I know one of them was about a stone or whatever, but I don't know if it was worth a lot of money. I have no idea. I've never really. It's good, but it's not. It's kind of like the romance thing. I don't really dig the romantic ones too well. Although I do think this one is like a fun romantic one, if you will. But maybe I'll watch it sometime just to see what it's like. But there's a look at the back, and that was only $5. And this next one, I almost didn't get because this is the way it was. Because it looked like somebody had tried to get into this, and they looked to try and get maybe digital copy, or they were hoping it had a digital copy, and they ripped this down through here, and the plastic was completely off it, and I was like, well, I really want it for my cousin Vinny. You know, I'd really love it for the movie My Cousin Vinny. I don't really know much about Cyrus, but I more or less got it because of My Cousin Vinny being on Blu-ray. And they tried so hard to get in here that I thought maybe one or two of the discs were gone. And I didn't even really look to make sure they weren't scratched or anything, but yeah. Looked like they didn't dare to take the movie once they got it open, because they do have like these, like, you know, codes that like on the stickers and stuff. Maybe they didn't dare to lift it, but yeah, that's the art for it here in a minute after I turn these around a little bit. But really nice looking art there on the discs themselves. It's actually, you know, cool to see art on a disc, because usually they don't. You know, a lot of times they don't put art on the disc themselves. It'll just be plain with just the logo or the font all over it. But yeah, they went and took all or what they thought was going to be the digital codes, and they found out there were no digital codes, and they should have knew that, because nowhere does it say on the disc that it's got digital capability for that kind of thing. But I don't know if I would have risked. Even if I was a Steeler type person, I don't know if I would have risked trying to do that in store, because the Dollar General has so many aisles, and, you know, trying to look in here to get a digital code, I mean, it's pretty risky to say the least, and to find out it don't even have a digital code. And and if they would have got caught, they would have got caught trying to rip something off that they didn't actually take, and there was nothing in there to take. That's what it looks like to me. Somebody tried to steal a digital code, so I don't know. COVID times, if you will. People acting like they're totally destitute. And I don't know. I've seen a lot. Around. I don't think we're hurting as bad as some people say, because I mean, my whole neighborhood, people are buying new cars left and right, and I don't know. I just wonder how bad everybody needs another stimulus. The next movie up here is The Man from Snowy River. $5 on this one. It's a wild western adventure, Australian style. 20th Century Fox. Stars Michael Edgley. Oh wait, no, doesn't star him. They're throwing me off there. Okay, Michael Edgley International in Cambridge Films, but it stars Kirk Douglas, Jack Thompson, Tom Burlinson, Sigrid Thornton, and Lorraine Bailey. It was directed by George Miller. The movie's from 1982, so go back in your time machine, and if I went back in my time machine and went back to 1982, I'd be 12 years old. So shows you how old this one is. But they had one more movie too, Return of the Man from Snowy River, I believe. If I'm not right on the title, but I do know they did have a sequel. Obviously, probably not on the level of this one. I have seen bits and pieces of this one too. I discovered that through my wife. Back in the 80s, she had a lot of VHS movies that her grandmother had bought her. I wish I had grandmothers that bought me movies back in the day. My grandmothers would always, they wouldn't buy us movies, let's put it that way. And then finally, some of these are opened because I was curious about how many discs they had. But first up here, I got a DVD of Ben Stiller, the 4 film collection. And I'm pretty happy with 3/4 of these, but I'm not too happy with the Walter Mitty movie. I did not like that movie at all. I thought it was terrible. It has The Watch. There's something about Mary and Dodgeball. But the main reason I got this was for The Watch and Dodgeball. I saw, and then it got broke, the case here a little bit. Pieces were on my lap when I opened it in the car. But and I'm gonna save this digital. I'm gonna save this digital code for another day. This one right here. So just remind me if I don't bring it up in the next day or two, because I did give away a Redbox. I kind of like to spread it out, so I have something to give you occasionally here and there. First up on the case, or on the DVD here, is Dodgeball. It comes with its own disc art. And Walter Mitty. And The Watch. My only problem with The Watch was the casting of this character. I had never seen him in anything before, and I'm like, you guys might better go for the quadrilogy here and stick somebody in it that's kind of like in the vein of Ben Stiller. What's his name? Vince Vaughn, and I can't think of his name either. That awful? Can't think of his name. But yeah, and it does say on there's something about Mary. It includes 2 versions, a theatrical and extended cut. While all the other ones are just basic, I guess. But there's The Watch, and let's see. And finally, there's something about Mary. Very happy to get these like that, because they're not going to be what's the word I'm looking for? They won't be compilated or whatever you want, on one disc to where the ratio is going to go down and the quality won't be so good. They're going to have their own quality to them. But that's the 4 movie set from Ben Stiller. They all have a lot of special features for a DVD. Yeah, I can't complain about any of them. The only one I think is a little tame versus the other ones, maybe, is Dodgeball itself. Has a good amount of stuff, but when you compare it to the other ones, to me, I wish the Dodgeball would have had a little more on it than, say, Walter Mitty, but I just did not like Walter Mitty. I just thought it was too weird and, I don't know, just all over the place. No knock on, I think Ben Stiller directed that, and I don't know, I liked Cable Guy that he did, but Walter Mitty was just a bore fest for me. I did not like it. I like the rest of these movies. Well, I haven't seen There's Something About Mary, only, in trailers and things like that. But then I was really stoked to get this one. It's a double feature, Jim Carrey, Ace Ventura collection. 2 hilarious films. And this, too, had its own disc. But my problem with this one is that it's really plain Jane with the way they did the disc. I don't like that. I think it should have had some kind of, art of some sorts, like maybe Spike, or, maybe even just Spike on the first one, because he kind of stole the movie from Jim Carrey here and there. And then this one, Ace Ventura When Nature Calls, I would have had maybe some of the villagers on it with Jim Carrey looking like the White Devil or whatever. I would have did something differently than just plain, but I mean, I can't complain. It is a 2-discer, and they do come on their own disc. And these are from both from Morgan Creek and our PG-13. And it looks like the first one has more features included. The first one's 178:1 ratio. The second 235:1. The second one's 94 minutes, while the first one clocks in at 86 minutes. They basically they both have the same subtitle tracks on them as well, along with a Spanish stereo. They're both 5.1 Dolby Digital. And this is a Canadian release disc as well. And I believe it says it came out in 2000, not the movies itself, but the disc itself came out in 2017. First movie came out in 1994, and hot off the success of the first one, they made one the following year, which was understandable. I always wanted a part 3 to round it out. I guess they do have one called Son of Ace Ventura or something like that, and it's from what I saw, was terrible. I might pick it up at some time just to kind of round it out for it to be the third one, but to me, there'll only be 2. I would have liked to have a third when Jim Carrey was actually on the top of the comedy mountain. He's kind of like taken a step back from comedy and kind of like, did the dramatic stuff, and then kind of after that kind of just disappeared. But that's the Ace Ventura collection. But I'm happy to have both in-house like that. And I got a lot of compilated ones this time around at the Dollar General. And then I picked up Family Fun Time double feature DVD set. The first movie here, Hook, starring Dustin Hoffman, Robin Williams, Julia Roberts, and the late great Bob Hoskins. And then secondly, based on the beloved children's novel, The Indian in the Cupboard. A magical present leads to an adventure beyond his wildest dreams. Got a little bowl of popcorn going on up there. I like it when they do that. Kind of gives you that, I don't know, like theatrical experience, if you will. See, now I love this disc art. Very cool to have Robin Williams on it as well. Not that it isn't with Dustin Hoffman. I'm just saying because it's unfortunate Robin Williams is no longer with us. But very beautiful art there. And I can't complain about the Indian in the cupboard either, because at least it's, it's got some kind of art. I don't like these plain discs that they, companies produce, but I like the Indian in the cupboard design as well. Not on the level of the Hook one, of course, but still cool. And I guess these must be from Columbia TriStar Films. So I guess these must be TriStar double feature, or Columbia Pictures double feature, because they're in conjunction with TriStar, or that's a branch of Columbia, or vice versa. Steven Spielberg directed Hook, while Frank Oz, it says, directed Indian in the Cupboard. Both PG. First film clocks in. Hook is a really long one. I didn't know that. Almost 2.5 hours, while Indian in the Cupboard is almost an hour and 40 minutes. Probably actually closer to an hour and a half with credits, I'm assuming, but look at the back. Nice packaging. Above average. And then finally, I grabbed this because I couldn't resist this, because you don't see this in the Dollar Tree wave or Dollar General wave too much. 4 film favorites starring Elvis Presley. Jailhouse Rock. I can't see the one because of the sticker. Jailhouse Rock. Oh, It Happened at the World's Fair. And Stay Away Joe Western. And then finally Charo. Right here. I knew instantly that was Jailhouse Rock. I've seen a lot of excerpts from that on TV. I always hear a lot of positive things about Jailhouse Rock, but I picked that up for $6. I picked it up because it's the king, and you don't see this every day. Plus, it's probably worth a lot, I'd imagine. I mean, maybe not in retail, but it's probably worth a lot in being an Elvis property here. It Happened at the World's Fair is 16:9, as well as Jailhouse Rock, and so, well, I guess all of them are 16:9. Okay, so they're all the same aspect ratio and widescreen presented. They all have basically the same features, although It Happened at the World's Fair has a little bit more on it than, say, the other 3. Trying to see if they have. Yeah, I think it's saying each one has its own trailer. I don't know if it's for the movie itself or for another Elvis title. Jailhouse Rock was directed by Richard Thorpe, while It Happened at the World's Fair was directed by Norman Clarog, and Stay Away Joe was directed by Peter Tewksbury, and finally Charo was directed by Charles Marquis Warren. I'm not sure how you pronounce that. I've never really seen that name before. Marquis Warren. I'm not sure, but one more look at the front, and that'll wrap up my video. But that's the final DVD in this haul. It isn't a big haul, but I wanted to keep them all. I could have added a few, big lots here and there, but I decided to just kind of keep it all Dollar General. Makes it a little easier to make the picture for it. And that's pretty much the haul for this morning. I thank you for the viewership as of late, and thank you for subscribing and doing little things on the channel, like leaving comments and hitting me up on Instagram, and little things like that to keep in touch. I had a recent person on Instagram let me know his wife's not doing very well. Vic Torres. He goes by the name as Vic Stooge on Instagram. His wife's really bad. She's almost deathly at this point. And I'd like is to throw him out a few prayers and, think of him in his time of need. Hopefully, she rebounds from her illness, but it's not looking or sounding good. But I mean, at this point, that's all he can do is hope and pray, that things go well for her. But I just thought I'd let people out there on the channel, if you know Vic Stooge, if you know Vic Stooge, you can, drop him a line on Instagram and wish his wife better and, help him out in his time of need. But thank you for watching, and I'll see you again, guys. See you later. Bye.